Jay, I'm so glad you're healthy, you recovered. You had some minor surgery last year.
Yes.
And we had John McEnroe come on to tell your story.
Unbelievable.
Jay now, as part of our holiday tradition, will tell the greatest talk show story of all time.
I just want to say I am so friggin' glad this is over, all right? I've never been so glad for something. I mean, I don't care if he retires or what happens to it. I have no interest.
You're just done with it.
You know, he's going to go to Montana and watch cow pies fall in the range or something. I don't know. So, when I was a young disc jockey in Charlotte, North Carolina, I used to open car dealerships like many of us did.
Yeah, remote broadcast.
Yeah, all of that, come out and, you know, buy the car and here's the deal and have a hot dog with the kids and all. And the Lone Ranger was working, Clayton Moore, who, by the way, was born in 1914. This is his 100th birthday this year.
Oh, my God, how about that?
Well,
he's not here.
He's dead. He can't hear you, so the applause is wasted. Save that for me. I make it up again. I like all that applause. So, he's going to open the dealership. I don't even know that I cared that much when I thought about it, but I liked him, you know, when I was a kid. He was very quiet, and he didn't say much, and he wore that outfit. He was erect. He had the mask. He had the hat. He had the guns. He had that Carolina blue outfit. And so I have this, you know, white man's afro, and I'm the screaming DJ, and I'm yelling and screaming and selling the cars.
And part of it is come down, meet the Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger's here for the kids. Come meet the not Clayton Moore, the Lone Ranger. And he was signing autographs, and people were putting guns to his head and all these politically incorrect things, and you know, everything. And so my buddy Mike Martin is in town, you know, dropping off my payola check. And so, well, that's true. So I'm there, and Mike has long, long hair. He looks like David Lee Roth before he cleaned up his act. He's all, and he has on stacked heels and these tight pants and a big belt and a tie-dyed shirt, long, long hair like a Bay City roller, right? He's a weird-looking guy. So he's there. I'm broadcasting. It's about time for it to be over. So Mike and I go behind a dumpster, and we get herbed up.
Herbed up.
We get herbed up.
Herbed up.
Yeah. So
that's what we're waiting for. You and Mike are herbed up.
We're herbed up. So we come back in, and our eyes are rolling like BBs in a boxcar. We are like that. So I go, okay, goodbye, see you later, you know, nice seeing you. And we start to leave, and they close it up, and the Lone Ranger is just standing by the door waiting for the car the radio station was supposed to send him. I have about a 10-year-old Volvo, and I have it parked, and Mike and I are going to go off and re-herb ourselves in a few moments. And so no one comes, and I'm thinking, well, I got to take care of the Lone Ranger. So I go over, and I
so
say,
he doesn't have a ride home.
but he doesn't say anything. He just stands with the mask and the hat. And so, and some like old hot dogs near him or something. Yeah. So I go, I really think I said Mr. Lone Ranger or something. I said, hey, Mr. Lone Ranger, would you know, I'm sorry about this. Can we give you a ride back to the Red Roof Inn? And he says, yes. So Mike and I are completely loaded. I bring the car around, and I have to, you know, push papers and push books and, you know, wrappers, and we put the Lone Ranger in the back of my Volvo. And we do everything we can not to act stoned. So we're like completely lit, and we're driving like this, and it's terrible traffic. It's dead silence in the car, and so we were sitting there for a while, and Mike we would look at each other, and he'd move his hair back every few minutes, and he'd go like this, and so a guy gets upset in front of us, older man in a Buick, and he wants to get out of the traffic, and he's backing up, and all of a sudden he rams in to the front of my Volvo, and I can hear the light brake in the front, and then he pulls out, and he's gone. Now, this is that 5-cylinder Volvo. And I take off, and we're chasing him. We completely forget the Lone Ranger is in the back, and he's like this as I'm going through traffic. He's with the hat and the mouth. And I think I caught a glance of him in the rearview mirror, but it didn't mean anything to me. It was like part of my stone, you know, like. So we take off, and I remember passing Anderson's restaurant. We catch the old bastard, and we pull up in front of him, and we both jump out. Mike with his long hair and his stacked heels, me with my white man's afro, and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "What am I doing? You ran into my car." He says, I did not. Oh, yes, you did. You broke my headlight. He says, oh, really? What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to call the cops. And the guy says, well, who do you think they're going to believe? Me or you two hippie freaks? And the Lone Ranger gets out from behind. They'll believe me, citizen. And the guy, I swear to God, the guy goes like this.